The Electronic Entertainment Expo, or E3, first began 22 years ago in 1995. It was not the first trade show that a game publisher was able to show off their wares for the press, and secondly for the general public. A venue where they can reveal and discuss new and upcoming products. Before E3, this need was fulfilled by various other tech-based shows and expos. Places like the Consumer Electronics Show and the European Computer Trade Show and various other small events. It wasn't until the harsh treatment that these game studios were receiving at these events became unacceptable that the E3 prototype began to roll in the minds of the big studios. After several failings to negotiate better treatment of the game industry at CES, E3 was beginning to be drafted, and finally, in 1995, the first event was held in the Los Angeles Convention Center. Here, the game industry was able to craft a convention tailored to their needs. Here is where it all began. The first few years had over 40,000 attendees overall. After having to move to the Georgia World Congress Center in Atlanta in both 1997 and 1998 due to failed negotiations, the LA Center would be the home for E3 every other year. For many vendors, the $5 to $10 million price tag to set up a booth was both a risky yet advantageous one, as it was a move to try and interact with attendees from both the retail and media center. As the years went on, more and more of the population of these attendees were bloggers and other game-based websites who were seen as undesired by the vendors. After several large vendors told the ESA, the guys behind E3, that things needed to change or they, and thus the expo itself, would be out, the ESA buckled, and made the expo essentially an invite-only event. Invitations to these events were only given out to the previously described desired sectors, and now more big-time gaming websites. This change, they left LA for the San Monica airport, where the 10,000 selected people would tour the various vendors, watch the presentations, all while the public felt discouraged with this whole action. Fortunately, after some changes internally in the ESA, they decided to return to the format that they used to play with in 2009, feeling it was a better system overall. Last 8 expos have been about the same. Big studios get to show off their games and hardware to the audience clamoring. E3 dubbed some years later as Gamer Christmas for obvious reasons. Here they tune into the pre-E3 events, pre-record shows, and the countless third-party and semi-indie game studios, all wait for hungry press and nowadays YouTubers to look over their items and share with the public. As the years went on, more tickets were created for this event, usually for new press and YouTubers to get in. That all changed in 2007 when the ESA changed the rules. That year they added 15,000 of the 68,000 tickets for the event to be purchased by the public. With this increase in foot traffic, the ESA has been voicing concerns about the lack of modernization and space need for the growing expo. Rest assured, as the expo will probably not move again, as the owners of the LA Convention Center have made plans to increase the size of the convention center, nearly adding 50,000 square feet of more room for the expo. This has not been finalized, but will be after judging the size of the 2018 show. As the world grows more interconnected with the internet, it may feel that E3 is sort of becoming out of place, and that it is obsolete. The same result that game studios and publishers desire could easily be obtained by publishing their reveals and the sort online, and doing interviews online as well. While many could argue this case, I think otherwise. Gamer culture has been growing over the years, and there is no sign of it stopping or even slowing down. E3 may have been the first mainstream gaming-oriented expo, but it is no longer the only one. PAX, BlizzCon, Minecon, and many, many more have been popping up over the years, and they are popular. With E3 giving more and more tickets to the public to buy, I can only think this will work to keep the expo running for many, many more years to come.